Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning how to set up the project, a Node.js project, in order to use TypeScript as a base language instead of JavaScript. Because TypeScript is very easy to use and it is very understandable, readable code. So a lot of people prefer TypeScript over JavaScript in Node.js. Especially nowadays, they are moving from JavaScript to TypeScript because they find it easy, because they also use it in Angular as well, so it is relatable in both the places, front end and back end. So let's see how it is done. So first of all, open the terminal or bash, whatever you are using, and run the command npm init -y in order to give the yes command for permission. Let it run. Okay, package code name, let it be code version 1. Okay, you can fill out all of these things if you want. I'll leave them as empty. Okay, I give yes. So there we have our package.json file. Now in this package.json file there are some changes that you need to do beforehand. Before you forget to do those changes, let's do it right now. So here in package.json, first of all, we have to give 3 more commands in the scripts. Right now you will only have test, but we have to give 3 more. So first is start, a start command. Like when you run npm start, this is the command that will be run. So the first is tsc, the TypeScript compiler. We have to run TypeScript compiler every time when we run node start, because what it will do is it will compile all of the code that you wrote in TypeScript and convert it into JavaScript and run that JavaScript file, because on server JavaScript will be running, not TypeScript. So TypeScript compiler before npm start or node start. So the next command will be node, which will actually start the project, start the server. So here I am giving the name dist/index.js. So what this will do is, so when we compile, we will be saving all the JavaScript files under dist folder. So right now there is no dist folder, as you can see, but when we compile, it will be created on its own. There's no need to think about that. So whenever you run npm start, it will first run the TypeScript compiler, convert all the code in JavaScript, and then this command node dist/index.js will run, which will actually start the server. And now the next is dev. We also need to give dev command. So I mean we can't be all running node dist/index.js. That is npm start. We won't be doing npm start every time. We will be when we write code, first we test whether it is working or not before sending it to server, right? So first we'll in order to test this, I'll just give nodemon. We don't have nodemon installed yet, but we'll install it. So what nodemon does is it keeps watching your code if for any changes. If there are any changes, it will compile it for you. Not a TypeScript compiler, but it will restart the server. Basically, nodemon restarts the server if there are any changes in the code. All right. So next command is build command, which will actually build the project. So this command is again TypeScript compiler, and I'm giving p flag as well. Now this is the script. There is no need to change it anymore. There is no need to add anything anymore in this. This is it. This will be like this. And when there's one more thing. When we run the main command, we'll be calling dist/index.js, because there is no index.js in the root. So we'll make the dist folder as a root for the server after it is compiled over here. Now Let's here as you can see here, I've given src/index.ts. So all of my TypeScript will be under src folder. I mean, it is good to keep it under a folder, because in this root folder, dist will also be created, so it will be all jumbled up. So it is good to keep all the TypeScript files under src and JS files under dist. So let's create the src folder, src, and we'll be creating our index.js under src. Oh, sorry, not index.js, index.ts. There we go. There is our TypeScript file. Now, in order to do anything, first we need some packages. Okay, I forgot to save this file. Anyways, so in order to install packages, we'll run the command npm install. The packages, I mean, we'll be using Express and yeah, basically Express. Let's install Express first. Npm install -- save Express. So it will install the Express framework for us. Okay, so our Express framework is installed. As you can see, the dependencies over here, but these are server dependencies. We can also use these dependencies on dev, but it is advisable to keep the dependencies different. I mean, like, we need a dev environment dependencies as well, right? For explicitly for TypeScript to use. So we'll also install npm install -d --save. This -d flag is used for development, so we'll be needing Express. Actually, in development environment, it is as a types basis, specifically for TypeScript. And we can install more, like at types/node, and in development environment itself, we will also need to install TypeScript itself. And TypeScript should be installed globally as well. I mean, in order to, I mean, it will be convenient if it is installed globally as well. Next is we need ts node and nodemon for and watching our code. Now let's install these packages at once. Alright, all of our dependencies are installed now. These are the basic dependencies that you'll be needing in a Node.js project. You'll be needing TypeScript, you'll be needing nodemon. You can install nodemon in dependencies as well. I mean, the server dependencies which will be used. I have installed this under dev dependencies because after pushing this code to server, it won't be using dev dependencies, and it won't be using TypeScript either. It will be using plain JavaScript, which will use these dependencies. So it is good to have them, keep them separate. Now, after all of these, we need a file. Called Tslint, and we need two files, tsconfig and Tslint. First, tsconfig. Basically, what tsconfig does is, tsconfig is a JSON file which is in the root of a TypeScript project. The tsconfig.json file specifies the root files, the compiler options that are required to compile the project, and the same config file is also for the JavaScript project, which is called jsconfig. So let's get this tsconfig. So in order to get that, we need to run tsc --init. This is the command to generate the file. Okay, so we have our tsconfig file. It is a huge file with a lot of options over here. We don't need all of these options, we just need some of them. So, like, for example, this is by default ES5. We can do it ES6, so it will understand the arrow functions. And the next we'll be needing is these two lines, the output directory and root directory. So I'm uncommenting this. Output directory is basically where our JavaScript files will be created after compiling. So we have named the folder as dist. So all of our TypeScript will go under dist folder. and in root directory we need to define where the root directory is for our TypeScript. So our root directory for TypeScript is Src folder, so we'll give the location as Src. So these are the two basic things we need to do over here. And the next part is, okay, let's see if all the things we'll also need this module resolution, that is node. I mean, it tells that we're using node. Yeah, this is all we need from this file. So save it, close it. We don't need to touch tsconfig again. That's all we need to do. Next file that we need over here is Tslint. So basically what Tslint does is, it is an extensible static analysis tool that checks TypeScript code for readability, maintainability, functionality errors. It is widely supported across modern editors and build systems and can be customized with your own lint rules, configurations and formatters. So let's create our Tslint file. I'll basically directly create a file. This is not a big file, and it has predefined stuff in that. So we just need to copy paste whatever things we need. So basically this is the thing. These are the only things we'll be needing. I'll leave this in. I'll leave a link of this repository of this in the description. You can take it from there. So we have the basic setup of our Node.js project, which will be using TypeScript as a base language as a development language. So here we can write some sample code as like when we use JavaScript, we basically write we basically write like this, right? Express equals to require from express, right? But in TypeScript we just need to, oh sorry, I just pasted it over here. But in TypeScript we just need to write import. There's no need to write that require stuff anymore, not export, sorry, express, import express from express, which is in node modules. So basically this is all, I mean, like this we'll be importing stuff. Next we can write tell our application to use express by writing constant app equals to express. Sorry, the spelling mistake. So I'll be giving it a port number, const port equals to 5000. I'll be running the project on port number 5000. I'm just giving the type, its type. So next is app.listen, listen on the port that we have provided, and this arrow function to see if there are any errors or not. Console.log. I'll just display the port number over here. Server is running on port. So yep, there we go. Port. Now our project is ready. I'll make a simple API as well in order to test our project. So basically let's write a get API, app.get / request response. So you see we made it follow ES6 and tsconfig, so we can use the arrow function, which is much easier and readable. Here I'll just simply do res.send and write hello. Alright, that's it. That's our basic application. We don't need to write anything else. I mean, if we can write a lot of things over here, like we can encode the URL and all, and we do it using like this app.use. We tell the app to use the encoding basically. So we do it like this: express dot URL encoded, and there are a few options we can give inside this. Extended equals to not equals to true. There we have it. This is our basic configuration for our Node.js project, and we can now run it. So in order to run it, first of all, I mean, as we have mentioned over here, we can use npm start, so it will build the project and create this folder and JavaScript files as well and run it over there. So let's do it. Npm start. Okay, so it is compiling now, and you'll soon see a folder named dest over here. Yep, there you go. We have the dest folder, and the server is running on port 5000. If you want to see the files whether they are created or not, so here we can see if you expand the dest folder, there is the index.js file, the JavaScript counterpart of the index.ts. So you can compare it visually as well, as we have written this much in index.ts, and the same has been converted into JavaScript and index.js. The functionality is the same, but just the orientation is different and nothing else. Now if we can we can run it and see it if it is working or not. So let's go to Postman. Let's run it on the 5000 URL, and after running it we get the response hello. That means our project is properly set up and using TypeScript, and we can take it forward after this and do a lot whatever things we want, create APIs, make models, and all of the things that we want to do in our Node.js project. So this is it for this video. I mean we have successfully set up a project for Node.js, which will be using TypeScript as a development language, and we have successfully done it. You can find this code on GitHub repository that I'll be posting in the description as well, so you can take it from there as well. Okay, thank you for watching, guys.